Hello, hello, hello. You're tuning into the episode of TheWunderkindShow. Today's second topic, Anquan Boldin, former Super Bowl Ravens wide receiver, says the former Ravens used to absolutely cheap shot, mollywop, dog drop the offense. Look, guys, you know what's funny? Is that when you hear about a lot of these older players that are retired out, and you hear the stories, you'll be looking at stuff, you'll be like, bro, did that really go down like that back then? And then every time they come out with stories, you have people that will come out because they're retired too and start to be like, yup. Start corroborating stories and be like, yup, that happened. And one, like, I be watching like Vernon Maxwell. I love Vernon Maxwell. Mad Max. He's hilarious. His stories are hilarious. But Anquan Boldin went on the OG podcast, and he was talking about how the stark differences between playing for the Cardinals, where the offense was king, going over to the Ravens, where defense was king. And this man said not only was the defense better, they were allowed to cheap shot the offense. They were allowed to hit you late. They were allowed to take extra shots after the play is done, after the whistle, push you, hit you out of bounds, all that stuff during practice, where that could cause an injury for somebody. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play the audio and video, and then we're going to break it down. All right, so without further ado, let's break this thing and get this stuff started. If you like more content like this, please remember, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, okay, guys? All right, let's do it.
I get to Baltimore. I get to Baltimore, and like you said, like in Arizona, we ran the practice offensively. Mm-hmm. Like our offense dominated.
Good
but
offense.
When I got to Baltimore, like it was just the opposite.
Yeah.
And I remember getting to training camp, and the defense just was punking the offense.
You ain't
like
that.
I'm talking like hitting dudes late. Like
Yeah.
I'm talking like I'm like, bro, what's going on? Like, what? So I remember,
Like they say, we don't need you anyway.
bro. I remember,
So guys, that's so crazy, right? You be hearing like stories about that, about guys getting punked, and you be like, ain't no way that happened. Yeah, and mind you, that's crazy to think, right? Because that's later in like Ray Lewis's career, Ed Reed's career, Haloti Ngata's career. You know what I'm saying? They're like, yo, they punking the offense. They're allowed to beat us up and everything else. Later on in the clip, he says, he's like, yo, and I love this. He was like, yo, I'll tell you straight up. Y'all do this, what y'all did to Buddy, to me. Practice is over. Practice is over. You're leaving out on the stretcher now. He said that. The defense looking at him like, he's like, yeah, let's go then. I'll end this whole thing. But let's go. And he said the defense ended up respecting him because he was the only guy willing to say, I'm not standing for it. Over my dead body. He had the defensive player's mindset on the offensive side of the ball. And that's when Ray Lewis, okay, we got a dog over there now. Physical receiver. If Anquan Boldin was the epitome of a physical receiver. He wasn't the tallest. He wasn't sure. He was just physical. And I get physical. And that's what he was doing to be stiff arming, forearm shivving, anything to get himself open and to make you feel him all night long. Pause. You know what's crazy about that? He said that's how things were in Baltimore. And he said because they also had a defensive coach that let that go because he liked it because he was a defensive coach. That's Billick. That's Billick. That's Billick. That means that was going on when Shannon Sharp was on the team. So y'all trying to tell me Shay was getting played? And when the play was done, getting shaved? Yo, Shannon Sharp, were they hitting him late? Like, play over. Oh, play ain't over till we say it's over, boy. Yo, bro, Shannon Sharp has never been a player to back down to anybody, but they're saying that this was always happening with the offense and defense over there in Baltimore. It was just a common occurrence. So, was that happening when Shannon Sharp was on the team? Because I got to know. Like, I hope somebody clips this and sends it to Shannon. Because, bro, like he's saying they were shivving them, everything. Hitting them after the play, taking cheap, hitting them low, everything. He said one guy got hit so crazy, he was just like, hey, yo, after what happened to Buddy, if you do what you just did to me, to Buddy, stopping the whole practice. Matter of fact, I think I got the audio for that. He said, I'm stopping the whole practice. Ain't nothing moving without me. Bro, everything stopped. That's crazy to me, right? But that's what he's saying. I'm going to play the audio.
And I remember, like, it happened a couple of times. Like, defense was cheap shot in the offense. So I was like, wait. Say, bro, let me tell y'all. Boy, one of y'all hit me late, I'm going to stop practice. Yeah. Like, all together. And I guarantee you're not walking off this field by yourself. Yeah. You do to me what you just did to Buddy, and bruh's going down. Like that.
Oh, I know that.
Because
I love that too.
I wasn't used to defense running the practice, but like I'm like, bro, you can't just cheap shot me.
And there was some savages over there on the other side too.
No, they had some dogs.
Savages over there.
I'm talking about like, bro, the defense was legit. Bro,
Yeah, there
like,
was some savages over there.
We gonna fight though.
You got to.
You got
Bro,
to.
you do that to me,
win,
we
lose, or
fighting,
draw, you
bro.
got to.
Like,
Yeah.
I
Iron
don't
sharp
care,
as
like,
iron.
Bro, I would mess up the whole team. Like,
Iron sharp as
you're not gonna walk off this field on your own power if you do that to me.
As you should.
As you should. Bro, he's like, if you do to me what you just did to Buddy. Oh. Bro, I'm just wondering if this happened to Shannon Sharp. Because mind you, Shannon Sharp didn't come through at the second iteration of the defense. He came through in the first iteration of the defense. That 2000s Ravens defense. The best defense of all time Ravens defense. The defense that had offensive players waking up with cold sweats asking for their mama defense. I gotta know, were they cheap shotting Shannon in practice? Bro, that's a question I gotta get answered, bro. Because my God, them boys weren't playing, bro. And I even remember when Suggs wasn't signed yet and they were saying he wasn't signed, and on camera, you just saw Ray just hit him with a pie, be like, yo, sign that contract and get to work. And I was like, and you could tell, Ray slapped him with that pie. Like, slapped the mess out of him with that pie. And I was just like, oh. Because Terrell Suggs ain't no punk, and that's not a small man. They had a way to do stuff in Baltimore, boy. Baltimore with them boys, man. We got them boys. After the play, the boys was just like this. After the play, I had them boys screaming. That is crazy. But what do you guys think? Do you really think all of this was going down? And how do you think that would go down in today's NFL? With the defense cheap shotting offensive players, like administrating their dominance in practice. Let me know what you think down in the comment section, please, all right? But as always, that's episode of The Wunderkind Show. Thank you for watching. Got Now We Get Down. We have fun and we laugh. But everything we talk about, we do what? Facts and truth. Please do remember, like, subscribe to the notification bell. Leave a comment, guys. You know all the comments. If you haven't already done so, check out The Wunderkind Morning Show live Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. Touch on all hot topics of sports and hot topics. And at the end of every show, we have a little bit of nostalgia trivia where you bring up stuff from the 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s. Got to be there, be squared. Also, if you want to donate to the channel, help out equipment and stuff like that, bottom of the screen, QR goes to a Cash App. Cash App located in the description of every video that we do. And the name of it is money sign, The Wunderkind Show. Super easy. But that's an episode of The Wunderkind Show. This show is not just signing off. And as always, you know my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. Huh? Yeah.
Finish him, Daddy.
Do not